of beating the Green Bay Packers with a shell defense made of people that just got off the couch last week.
And that's all the time we have today, folks. No?
No.
Okay.
You're going to live with me for the next 45 minutes to 2 hours talking
excited
just about
it.
it.
Super excited.
Hello, friends. Welcome to the Big Businesses Podcast. This is episode Lucky 13. Lucky 13. Et trois. That's actually not how you say 13 in French. It is week 14.
Yeah.
Week 14 in the NFL. We missed 2 weeks. I got super sick.
Then I got super sick.
And now we're here.
And we're back. But
now we look.
What did you have?
I had a viral cold.
Oh.
And my children had viral colds. So taking care of twins whilst sick. Not a lot of fun.
Do you know what I had?
A viral cold?
I had to go see a fantasy doctor last week because our last pod was so spot on with our calls. I had an erection for over 4 hours. So I needed to see a fantasy doctor for that.
Some say.
And then I had a viral infection for the weekend. So
some say we're pretty good at this.
Yeah.
It's usually us that say it, but you know what?
I mean, I haven't heard anyone physically say it to us. But
we are real good at predicting good fucking players in this league.
No, seriously, if you just ever want to, you need, a good, something for your spank bank, go to our Top Gun section from, our last episode. Fucking
yeah,
fire.
and then just mute it.
I'm chafing.
Then just mute it and watch us.
Yeah.
All right, so we're off. So
I think that was a good intro.
That's a great intro. Great intro. 2 weeks hiatus. Now let's get back into it, baby. Week 14.
So 2 week hiatus, and we wanted to do a sponsor, and I had, the greatest idea for a sponsor, this entire year, waiting for the Thanksgiving game, because I have this epic picture of Snorlax from a Thanksgiving picture.
Should we put it here?
Years ago.
We're gonna put it right there.
I mean, it just sucks that we couldn't do a sponsor and use this picture, right?
Well, we still gotta see it though.
Right.
Because it's a good one.
And then
he's just trying to get his turkey leg pulled.
Something butterballs. We could have did something with butterballs. I think butterballs would have been good.
Butterballs would have been good.
And then 2 weeks ago, what we wanted to do was we left off things with you were playing Snorlax.
I was playing,
and you said if I beat him, I'm gonna shave him, right? And I just thought that was super random and funny. We had a funny picture too, but we can't use it, right?
Well, we can put it right here. It's fine. We're just gonna put it up there. I did shave him. He's now 12 pounds lighter.
Wow. Looks like a seal-lax. So,
kiss from the road. Different,
baby.
Different seal.
So, yeah.
Almost clubbed it.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I guess we don't have a sponsor,
don't
but
do it. There's no sponsor.
That counts as a sponsor.
Funny pictures. That's
sure.
our sponsor this week.
Yeah.
And this is the last week of the regular season of fantasy football for our league. Depending on your league, you might start your last week next week. But if you have a 12-team league, it's starting right now.
Oh, yeah. 10-team people play till next week, too.
Yeah, some people don't have enough friends for a 12-team league. So
make some friends. That's your fantasy
league.
Advice for next year, and make 2 more friends.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Make sure they like football. And at least they're half decent.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of helps, too, for a fantasy football league. But if you can't find anybody, then anybody named Ryan usually is a good filler.
They're filler.
Good filler spot for a fantasy.
Because you don't have to worry about them really winning.
Right.
But they're good enough to be
they can luck out 6 wins and make it interesting.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and they can play spoiler.
Right.
It's
they better play spoiler.
It's like having a bot, an AI bot, but on level medium. Not on pro, eh?
Yeah.
They're there for the
if you're playing a video game, do you really want to put it on challenging, or I just kind of want to see the story and put it on easy.
Yeah, you want to fill it in. You want to see the cinematics.
Coast.
You just want the cinematics, and you want to enjoy it. You don't want to be playing on friggin' super challenging. You're not Elon Musk. Relax.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, he plays Diablo people, okay?
He's pretty good.
Apparently he's number 1 in the world. Who knew? I thought he was running companies the whole time, but apparently he's not.
Nope.
But league recap. Recap.
There you go. We have an extended league recap because of how just crazy our league is, and it's one of the tightest things I've ever seen.
The whole idea, actually, even for this podcast in general, this league is tight as a tiger.
Yeah.
Even the Ryans are good.
Yeah.
Even the Ryans are good. Some of them even won before in the past.
Yeah.
We put them we put their difficulty too high that year. But it's a really tight league. Everybody really knows what they're doing. They're really heavily invested. So why not start a podcast? Because it's a lot of fun. So we did that just to talk about this mostly. So let's get into it and let's talk about this friggin' year.
Let's talk about first, second, and third place having 8 wins.
Yeah.
And in theory, nobody's secured a playoff spot yet.
Not
they could
a single...
all technically miss the playoffs.
Yes.
Which is crazy. So you could be first or fucking... If you're not first or last, I think Ricky Bobby's dad said that, but...
Yeah. And then 4th through 8th?
Yeah.
Same
7
record.
and 6. Yeah.
Same record.
So I'm one of the lucky 7 and 6 people that get to have an anxiety attack for the whole week. Yeah.
As am I.
So the one thing I have is the most points in the league. So if I win, I'm probably securing a bye because first and second place right now are playing each other.
Yep.
So one of those guys will drop in the standings. If I won, which we all know where this is going, I'm not going to win, right? I'm not going to fucking win. So next week's pod would be shit because I'd be like, I got the bye and I got nothing to talk about for a week because everybody's happy, right?
I am hoping he loses.
I'm going to lose so that I could just rant for a fucking hour next week. But yeah.
There's nothing better than watching him lose fantasy football.
But it speaks to how crazy the league is that you can end up in second place or 7th place depending on one matchup in the final week.
And I say it because you've won so many times that it's nice to see the world, come back to reality.
I don't even remember those days.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while.
It's been a while. It's been a while for me too.
Yeah.
Been the entire time I've ever been in this league.
3,864. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't actually count the days. That would be crazy if I did that though. I
You
didn't
do know
actually
it.
do that.
He's got a ticker.
I
in
could
his bedroom.
ballpark it though.
You got a ticker in your bedroom.
Yeah. I turn a paper every day and I'm like,
Guess I'm so angry.
day.
But what made this possible?
Okay, so the
let's
reason
talk
why
about
the
this.
league is so tight is Copy Paste. I don't know if you guys know who Copy Paste is. He's actually my brother. We call him Copy Paste because
Makes sense.
Yeah. He's
When
like
you
a
see
lesser version of me, but
He's been in
kinda
this
the exact
podcast
same.
and you didn't even know.
Yeah, like he could be here right now and you wouldn't know, or he could have been here 6 episodes ago and nobody even caught it. So
Yeah. They're not even twins.
interesting.
But
So he was 5-1 and has dropped so
Rolling.
many games since then. He
off
lost-
the back of Derrick Henry though.
Yeah. So he was 5-1. Derrick Henry was rolling. He looked like the genius of our league.
Yeah.
And then he went 1-5. He was 6-6 going into last week. Actually, should have been 6-7 and probably technically eliminated. But my brother has a horseshoe shoved up his asshole, and what happened was
so far in the rectum.
he ended up winning his matchup by 0.3
Yeah.
because Josh Allen got a double touchdown. And if anybody watched last week's game,
But not just that.
yeah.
The person he was going against, or maybe not going against, but that
No,
was
but
battling against.
that he needed to lose in order to stay alive. Yeah.
The person that he needed to lose had Cook,
Yep.
and he needed a few more yards.
Yeah.
But they decided to, after handily beating down their opponents in Buffalo, bench
everybody.
the whole offense.
Yeah.
So he got what he needed from Josh Allen.
Yep.
And then they just benched their offense.
He wins by 0.3. And
Unbelievable.
Then Puka McGowan, who would have clinched a playoff spot last week,
Now
lost
has to
by
fight for it.
1.4.
Now he's got to fight for it.
Could be karma. I don't know. But
It's
for
karma.
starting Bo Nix against me like 9 weeks ago.
Didn't I do that to you?
Yeah.
I
I'm
know.
0-2.
Didn't I also not
I'm
win?
0-2 against Bo Nix this year. And 0-1 against DeMarcus Robinson.
Get
but
to know.
who's counting? So, epic meltdown, copy paste, fell down in the standings. The other meltdown was the Acronym. He was 7-3, and he was actually in first place.
Losing 3
And a
straight.
month ago, I reached out to him and I said, "Hey, man, you're in first place. You've been in first place for a couple weeks. You want to write like a statement for the pod, and I'll read it out on the thing." He's like, "No, man, I don't want to jinx it."
Oh,
That's what he said.
jinxed it.
And guess what? He hasn't won a matchup since. So
Jinxed it.
you don't participate in this pod, and that's what happens.
When we ask you to be part of something, you be goddamn part of
do
it.
it, man. Don't be
Brandon
scared,
Aubrey
eh?
was part of it.
Yeah.
If Brandon
Aubrey's
take the
got
time.
time, you can make time, eh?
All he does is kick field goals and make awesome pod entrances, which we haven't done yet.
Mm-hmm. Coming though, right?
And then some guy came out of nowhere, won 3 straight against the top 3 teams.
That was crazy.
No big deal.
Because I was rating this guy off. You were what? You were 4-6.
Injuries piling up.
Then you beat Acronym.
Yep.
You beat Snorlax.
Yep.
And then you beat me
Yep.
last week. So arguably 3 of the top teams. Now he's positioned.
Yeah, I was having
Win and you're most likely in.
I was winning against the winners and losing against the losers.
Yep.
I was losing against the worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
And then I beat the best.
Well, we thought you were one of those worst teams in the league, but then
Actually, my team is genuinely not championship caliber at the moment.
when
I
Brock
just lost
Bowers had
another person.
21 against me last week, I was like, it's happening. He's fucking ruining everything.
Kobe.
But yeah. So who do you play this week though?
The problem is this week I play my fantasy arch nemesis, but in real life, very, very, very brotherly friend, fucking Victoria's Secret.
Draft Wizards?
Draft Wizards, baby.
Wow. I didn't even know you guys are actually friends. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I've never seen you guys getting along. You guys are only fighting in our thread.
Yeah.
And you guys are only like
You gotta poke the
I
bear.
literally didn't even know you guys were friends. That's
are.
crazy. I heard he lives around here too, which
He
is
does.
kind
He
of
never
cool.
visits
So maybe
anybody,
we could
but that's fine.
maybe we could hang out with him sometime.
Ain't happening. He doesn't like us.
So yeah.
got
So
that.
you put yourself in position with everybody else in the league. What else we got there?
Bro,
Top three.
what are you talking about? We're on scenarios.
So
Let's get
scenarios.
going. Let's get through this.
Okay.
Scenarios.
You want to do it?
As the leading points getter,
Yep.
Joto, you get the bye with the winner potentially missing the playoffs with a loss.
Right.
I'm predicting a loss.
Me too. I'm projected. If this was just on projections and we could end it right here,
Yeah.
perfect. I win.
No, you're gonna win, bro. I'm just busting your balls here.
I don't know.
Snorlax, Hawk
Can't
2, they're
sleep.
playing for the number 1 spot.
Yep.
Silent Ninja, they get a bye if they win. Versus copy paste your brother. If he wins, he gets a playoff spot. If he loses, he's probably out.
Right. And
But
then
he can still potentially get it if we all lose.
you could. So what's crazy about all this is if everybody wins, like the 6 teams that need to win, somebody could miss the playoffs at 8 and 6.
Yeah, which
That's
is gonna be me.
Fucking crazy.
It's
But
gonna be me. Myself versus Draft Wizards. Fuck,
And he's been
well
playing
lately.
spoiler. His
It's
team's
so
actually shaped
frustrating.
up. He had like 2 wins for the longest time, and then he started beating everybody.
Remember,
so.
we did a whole podcast basically on his elusive second win of the year. Puka needs to win to get in. Meyer gets a chance at $10 for knocking
Yeah.
out. Bounty Gate episode.
So I
4,
don't even know
think
if
it was.
Cheaper by the Dozen knows this, but if you can take out Puka McGowan this week and eliminate him from the playoffs,
Yeah.
we got a $10 bounty with your name on it, buddy.
Yeah, and then this year we put the Ryans back down to commodity
Yeah.
level strength in their AI. They
Yeah.
both have been eliminated already.
Hey, you know what? I just thought of this. $10 split between 12 kids is 88 cents a kid. Don't spend it all in one
Yeah,
place.
that's a hell of a stocking
Well, that's
stuffer.
pretty good.
That's a hell of a stocking stuffer right there, you know? Oh, man. Do you get him a dozen eggs? Just last one day, eh?
One cracked one, and then he has to choose a kid, eh?
Yeah.
Like, who gets the... Yeah, anyways.
All of his eggs come fertilized.
Because he's a fertile myrtle.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
you want to do predictions?
Yeah,
Who's
this is
winning these
predictions.
things?
You and versus Acronym, you guys have a tight thing.
Give it to me.
I'm going to go with Acronym.
I'll take it.
I'm going to go with Acronym on this one. I think he
Wait,
pulls,
whoa,
I
what?
think he pulls it out.
No, I'm winning. Fuck
Okay.
that. I've changed my mind. I'm going to win.
Yeah.
Copy,
I
paste,
like it.
Silent Ninja.
Ooh, copy paste wins.
I think Silent Ninja wins.
we
So,
go.
in looking at matchups, Derrick Henry's on bye. So it's,
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Silent
so
Ninja
it's-
wins.
Yeah, so
Silent Ninja
Silent
wins.
Ninja has Mixon on bye. It kind of balances it out, but
It does balance it.
yeah, I don't know.
These
It's
buys
gonna be
are
close.
wild.
Week 14,
Week 14
great
buys?
time to have bye weeks, eh?
Yeah, it's like the schedule makers were like, fuck fantasy football.
Yeah. Yeah, 100% they thought that.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Hawk Tua Snorlax.
Hawk Tua.
Yeah, Hawk Tua. So Hawk Tua had Josh Jacobs in last night's game. He had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and we're doing this
Nice
on
little
Friday,
boost.
so we kind of
Right.
have that insight.
Had you have asked me this a week ago and Snorlax had CMC, I probably would have said, oh, Snorlax is rolling, CMC's
Yeah.
back, and everybody. Who's Snorlax starting at running back 2 this week?
SMC.
SMC, yeah.
Yeah, so CMC goes down,
Yeah.
he goes to the waiver wire, he picks up SMC.
So he sincerely needed to find a replacement this week.
What a name. Is this the best name in football right now?
How would you name somebody sincere? That's like,
Sincere.
that sounds like somewhere where you buy,
Well,
like,
this Kool-Aid McKinstry or whatever his fucking name is.
Sincere McCormick. Like, oh yeah, there's a guy named Kool-Aid too. That's a pretty bad
So this
name.
thing, like they don't. That's not actually his name, right? So
No, that's his name. Sincere McCormick.
it might not be.
Yeah. No, they
Might be.
They were pretty
I just-
sincere
I
when
just-
they said it on the radio today.
No, but they can use the pseudonyms, right? They can use the names they go by. So like I don't know. That might be his real name.
Yeah.
I haven't looked into it because he plays in the Las Vegas practice squad up until
He is
last week.
projected 2.36 points this week.
You do what you got to do because CMC is predicted at 0 points.
Sincerely worried for Snorlax.
I am sincerely worried. Myself, Draft Wizard. I gotta put my money on myself.
I'm gonna give it to you, but it's not gonna be pretty.
No.
I think it's gonna be a close matchup. You're just lucky that Jahmyr Gibbs didn't get more than 13 last night in our league, because I thought he was gonna pop off for another touchdown at a couple points there.
Yeah, and but he still got 13 in a standard format, which is a lot.
I think you can live with it, and I think you can still beat him.
He still has a touchdown, right?
Yeah.
So he still had a tutty. It's just he didn't have a ton of yards.
Right.
Because that Green Bay defense, whilst being very good, still lost the game.
Whilst.
They lost.
Yeah.
Get over it, cheeseheads. You suck. Matt LaFleur trying to fight somebody holding the American national flag. Did you see that?
No.
Well, he justified. We'll talk about it after.
Okay.
Yogurt Slingers, Taco Monsters, give me some yogurt.
Give me some tacos. Fucking all you can eat tacos.
The two most infantile names in the league.
Yeah.
The Yogurt Slingers.
No playoff implications
versus the Taco Monsters.
But...
Come on, guys.
Yep.
You're 40 years old.
And then Puka McGowan.
Don't change them. They're fantastic.
No, no. Like, we're just kidding. Like, they're fucking awesome.
I love the names.
So, Puka McGowan, cheaper by the dozen.
I think Puka loses only because.
Did we disagree on?
I think he loses because, when you have 12 kids, you need something in life.
Yeah, but it's not this.
I think it is.
I don't think it's this.
I'm going by it. Just cheap by the dozen. Puka McGowan dropped out of the playoffs. I think
cheaper by the dozen ends with 1 win per every 2 kids, and he finishes 6-8 on the season. My math skills are on fucking point today.
They are. You told me I wasn't feeling well. You feel great.
I feel fucking good.
Feel great.
Wow, this is me sick. Imagine what I was like at 100%.
Yeah.
So
I love it. I can see. Yeah.
So I mocked out based off of my picks, not his. I didn't know you were going to disagree with every single thing that I said.
I just picked. I have no idea what these people have in their teams. I'm just picking names.
I did hard analyzations.
You think I know who has people?
I mocked this out just for fun.
I didn't even look at them.
I mocked this out just for fun, and if it ends up this way, Hawk Tua and Silent Ninja would get the bye.
Yeah.
I'd be the 3 seed. Snorlax would be the 4 seed. You would be the 5th seed. And Puka would be the 6th seed, which would set up me versus Puka and him versus Snorlax.
Whom I beat not long ago.
The whole world wants. I've lost to Puka twice this year. Nobody in the history of Big Biz has ever beaten me 3 times in 1 year. Let's fucking go. Right?
I would love a Snorlax matchup.
I would love a
That
Puka
might be
matchup.
the only way I would win.
Do you think we'd get more than 86 views on next week's video?
If
this happens? Yeah.
I will do it in underwear. I won't. You don't want to see that.
No, let's do it. Okay. So,
news.
Long story short, that was the league recap. It's going to be a crazy week.
It's been 20 minutes. Let's get to the news.
Let's go.
All right, folks. Let's get to the news.
The new news.
The news. Who the fuck is MVP this year?
Crazy.
I got one candidate for you.
Yeah, and we've heard it on every pod episode thus far.
So,
he's in the top 4.
Say what you like. Mm-hmm. Say what you like, but I think I'm objective about this because I have said he's no longer in. I've also said he is a candidate. Mm-hmm. He threw 5 interceptions, and that was a low point probably of his career for statistical reasons. Long story short, Jared Goff is one of the 4. There's no question, especially last night's game. You're going to watch that guy throw not 1, but 2 high pressure, 4th down touchdowns. That if any one of those is not complete, game over. On top of that, another touchdown on top of that, 75% completion rate. He's in top 3 to 5 of almost every category in the league.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
And what is the idea of an MVP? He is the most valuable player on that team that's 12-1, the best team in the league. And if they didn't have him, they would be nowhere without him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I wasn't doing that. No, I wasn't. I was my fingers. I was just stretching.
Josh Allen, no question, he's the front runner.
He's the front runner.
Saquon Barkley, hot on his heels, no pun intended,
so
because he's a runner.
How amazing is it just that the fact that a running back is legitimately in contention for that, right?
For sure. And they justifiably should be.
Yeah. And I mean, he took like an Eagles team that was starting to get better progressively every week. And like he led through his position, like through a running back position. He put you could tell everybody just got jacked, like watching this guy, whether it's the hurdles or the big like 4th quarter runs. But it's not just like once or twice. He's now done this like
every
4 or 5 games almost in a row.
Yeah,
like he
seems like every game he just busts out
historic,
wide open. The
he's
game.
Already got career high in stats, and there's 6 games left in the season. He's on pace to shatter the record.
He's been pitch counting himself. Like even when he could have gotten more, he's like, I let the kids eat.
Yeah.
So He's been no question. He's
amazing,
definitely there.
amazing.
Do you know who I don't think should be there?
I agree with you.
Lamar Jackson.
So I actually was gonna say, I know everybody's saying Goff is like 4. I would actually put Goff 3, so I'll give you that, because Lamar Jackson, they're 8-5, and despite
8-5.
yeah. So if
losing some terrible games,
yeah, it got smashed by
like,
Berkeley.
When you're losing to the Browns,
yeah,
and the Steelers,
yep,
super important divisional games.
Absolutely.
You cannot be an MVP
maybe at
candidate.
the start of the year he was off to that start, and that Lamar Jackson, and everybody was talking about him. The stats are still there, but like the wins do have to count towards something. Because if we're just talking about guys that are having career year, who looks like the best quarterback in the league right now?
Okay,
it's Joe Burrow to me.
I agree.
And the guy is 4-8. So
Agreed.
You don't even talk about him, right?
And yet everybody for up until like last week, everybody had, well, not everybody, like the Collinsworths of the world. If wins don't count for something,
for sure.
You're like, obviously Mahomes is an MVP candidate. And you're like, no, the guy is statistically like 22nd in the league as far as quarterbacks are rated.
Right.
I'm not sure if that's fully accurate, but it's probably not far off. He's terrible this year.
Yep.
As far as stats are concerned. So if that's not a metric, the win's not a metric. They have to be a metric. Your team has to be effectively doing their job. So at 8-5, Lamar is not. Go ahead, roast. He's not. I'm sorry. He's a phenomenal player, but you also have a Derrick Henry next to you.
Hope he's watching.
Who's doing incredible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No, it's fine. It's not your fault.
I know.
It's not your fault.
But it's just such a controversial take these days, and I don't think it should be.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not Matt Damon. It's not your fault.
I figured if I said it 5 more times, it'd catch a quote.
Damon. Let's go on to the next part.
Yeah,
because nobody's going to like what I just said anyway.
CMC injury. Ouch.
Did somebody call that in this podcast?
Yeah. It's one of those, like, did you really want to be right about that, though?
No, I didn't want to be right about that.
Yeah, fuck, man. That sucked. He looked great. Listen. Like, in the 5 minutes that he played last week in the snow, he had 70 yards like that. It looked like old CMC.
Football is always the best when everybody's playing really well.
It's
and you want your stars to be there.
Yeah.
You want your stars to be there. You just want the best to be out there, because that's what the NFL is. You want the best to be playing against the best and see who is ultimately the champion. You also never want to wish a guy to have ill. He's got to put food on his table, all that shit. He's got hundreds of millions, whatever.
I think he could afford to skip the dishes. Or whatever,
I know, but man, like.
Yeah, no, it's brutal, and I know you hate San Fran, it's
not a fan of San Fran,
right? But it's tough. This team has been like rallying to just try to tread water until he got back. Now he's back, and it was supposed to be the time of the year where they're going to take off, and now it's so deflating for the team. So.
Three things I said about that team again. One, I said CMC, if he comes back, which will be late, he has a chance to get re-injured. Now it's a different injury, but he's re-injured because he wasn't up to game speed.
Yeah,
right. You're playing hard, but you're not really there yet. So you have a very good chance of injuring yourself. He did. Now he's gone. Unfortunate.
Agreed.
And I also said that San Francisco was not going to be a contender in the NFC, and nobody wanted to. I said this during the draft.
I strongly disagreed with you. Yeah.
Yeah, and who was right?
Iceman.
He said this a long time ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I still might miss the playoffs. What's wrong with Aaron Rodgers?
Oh my God. Where do I start with that?
Everything.
Fuck. Everything is wrong with him, and every time you watch a Jets game, it is a painful experience. But if you're actually watching these games still at this point, like, I feel for you because I'm one of those people. I own Breece Hall, and every time he can dump a screen pass off to him, he chooses not to. Every time he does it, Breece rips one for 20 yards. So it's like,
it's frustrating.
It's just so obvious that they should be utilizing the running back more and these small yardage plays to like help facilitate a game. Their defense got them off to a great start last week. They should have beat Seattle.
They should have smoked Seattle.
And they were up big.
Smoked.
And it just looked like systematically they played the worst football that you could possibly play to get Seattle back into the game to win. Like it was disgusting. Rodgers made so many bad passes, so many bad play calls. Like it was like. That was probably their worst game, being honest, like this whole year. And as the Breece owner, I was like pretty pissed because I'm like, the Breece Hall effect is like the last like 6 weeks of the season, he was supposed to just tear it up. And
that's why you drafted him.
Yeah, you drafted him for this run. Like seriously, like this run.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Oh, because he's a running back. Get it? So guess what happened? Breece Hall is out this week. So That's a fun plot twist too. But yeah.
That Pat Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
He's out this week. I love Aaron Rodgers. Not when he played on Green Bay because I hate Green Bay. But as a player and as a person, I fucking love Aaron Rodgers. More for entertainment value.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Than anything else, but I do like him quite a bit. I haven't seen that stupid documentary yet, but I hear it's entertaining.
I didn't watch it either yet.
Is it good?
No,
you saw it?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
So I don't know what's wrong with him, but at this point, I think the whole world can say that the Aaron Rodgers experiment in New York is pretty.
Pine Pro his ass, but whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, like when you're bringing up Zach Wilson had better stats, that's a bad situation.
I know.
It's a bad situation, and then you got to feel bad for him because like he's probably going to get a gold
not a
jacket.
bounce back. Yeah.
Well, he's gonna get a gold. Like he was MVP. What 2-3 times?
Yeah,
2 times
three at least. Yeah.
It's wild to be like seeing this kind of demise in a player, especially when like he wants his. Anyways.
Yeah.
It's a terrible situation.
Brady got better looking after 40. Just saying.
Oh,
and
Brady.
so did I think.
Actually, you know what? I think he did too.
Yeah. Oh, you do?
I do.
Well, his game didn't. So,
No, his game's terrible.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Justin Tucker be cut?
Fuck. Justin Tucker. What the fuck? What the fucker?
Mr. Automatic.
I wouldn't even just cut him. I would take the scissors and I would shiv him with them too. I said that. Cold-blooded murder.
That brings up another question. The Lamar MVP situation. They've lost 3 games probably because of him.
Yeah, that's true too. You know,
Has to be brought up.
That's a fair point to throw in there. I've lost 2 games to Justin Tucker in my fantasy league, which is
more important.
Which is the bye, right?
Which is also more important.
We could have saved you guys like 12 minutes of league recap if Justin Tucker made all his kicks this year. So take that for what it is.
Yes, we could have.
Yeah.
Yes, we could have.
I would cut them there. They're not going to. It's the bye. They would have done it by now.
Well, who are you going to bring in is the problem.
Yeah, I know. There's like.
Who are you going to bring in?
I don't know.
The bigger problem is if they get into a postseason game, he's already probably in his own head.
For sure. Like when it's like a 47-yard kick and he's just like.
If the game's on the line, like
Yeah.
I would trust some like Jake Bates. Easily.
Well,
I bring up Jake Bates because he was selling bricks last year. You bring a guy in selling bricks and he's like lights out.
I know.
And you bring a guy who's arguably one of the best kickers of all time.
I just think in a playoff game, if Baltimore is in like this heavy situation where it's a 4th and 2, and normally they're
going for it on 4th.
They're going to go for it.
They're going to go for it on 4th.
And whether they get it or not is going to be the difference. And if they don't get it, we go circle back to Tucker.
And if you go for it on 4th, you got to be the Detroit Lions.
Yeah. I get it. Good segue though.
Because we're real good. Let's go to the game tape last night, Thursday Night Football, Packers Lions.
I think this one's like a quick game tape, right? Like
we'll do. You know what? We will do it quick because I don't want to bore anybody with the absolute fantasticness of my team. But I will tell you, I did not expect a win last night.
Neither did I. Going into the game, I actually thought Green Bay was going to win.
I thought Green Bay would win. Clearly,
the Lions were banged up like crazy amount of injuries.
Well, was it the Lions had 13 starters on defense alone that were either injured or on IR. There was 10 on IR. Wild. The next team that had anybody injured or on IR was 7 people.
Oh wow.
So they are like when I say thin, every single Pro Bowler or anybody that was very good on the team, with the exception of their secondary, gone.
Yeah.
Their front 7 gone, with the exception of Jack Campbell and Lee McNeil, who ended up leaving the game in like the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And then they picked up guys that literally have been on their couch or were practice squad people or were cut from teams or were older. And they brought them in on Monday.
They're fired up, man.
Brought them on Monday.
Fired up to play. So.
And they had an excellent first half.
Yeah.
And then they showed a lot of weakness in the second half. But that's also because our best run stopper, DJ Reader / Lee McNeil. DJ Reader's out. He was out for the game. Lee McNeil goes out in the first quarter. I was like, we're fucking... I'm on my couch. We're toast. It is what it is. They're going to start running it up. And they did. They started, but we did just enough offensively. Won't talk too much about it. Bold 4th down calls. Sure. You know what?
The only thing I'll say about that, I kind of circling back to a couple episodes ago, the Bengals were playing the Ravens. They went, instead of going for the extra point to tie the game, they went for 2 to try to win the game. Didn't work out. Fast forward a couple weeks, because I'm like, that's the type of thing that could break your season for for a team that's not 11-1, right? And so now look at the Bengals. They're 4-8. They're pretty much out of the mix. They'd have to win out and have some good luck to even have
Where's your math skills, bro?
Yeah, I know, right? But so the Lions are 11-1. They can make these calls. They can get bold.
Well, no, that's not all it's about though. We have a defense that was getting shredded in the second second half of the game.
Right.
Shredded in the second half of the game. But you can only do so much. You can only plug that hole so many times. When you start losing people through the game like they were.
I know. I did truly think that if Green Bay got the ball back,
They were
with
gonna
40
score.
seconds left, they're going to score.
They're going to score.
They're going to tie the game.
So
and
we're
then
deep in their
overtime.
end zone, or deep in their zone, sorry.
Yeah.
We're at the 30-yard line or something like that. No problem. Like, Jake Bates is hitting that kick. The thing is, if we can run that clock down,
It's
and
so
he hits
fucking
the kick in.
nuts, though. It's nuts.
Yes.
It's bonkers.
Yes, but say they didn't get it and they got the ball back, they might go back to overtime, but they probably lose the game.
Mm-hmm.
They probably lose that game. So your destiny's in your hands. You have your the best offensive coordinator in the league call the best play he can possibly, even though you're getting stuffed like fucking hell. And then you also get a team going like, they're not going to do it. You're not really going to.
They're just going to try to draw them off sides, and
yeah.
they actually.
So they probably
there was no doubt in my mind that he was doing it.
So they probably neither for me.
Yeah.
But when you're on the field, you're like, there's no way this is happening. If there is a slight hesitation on that defensive line,
right
off of that because they don't think they're doing it,
oh for sure,
you don't need a yard.
yeah,
They got that was their longest run play of the second half.
yeah,
So they
Really,
clearly
eh?
didn't
I
think.
didn't realize that.
I
That's
don't
crazy,
think
but-
Green Bay thought they were going to do it.
yeah. Well, they should have.
They thought they were going to try to take them offside, take the 5 yards, kick a field goal, and all of a sudden get the ball back because they couldn't call.
But again, going back to my point, the difference is in the back of your mind, you know that even worst case scenario, you lose the game and you're 11-2. It's okay.
Yeah,
they're
sure.
fine. Like and
No,
they
no,
know
no.
that they're fine, right?
That
so you're
game-
playing with house money. Like you
That's
know.
not true, though.
Yeah.
You 11-2. You might not win your division.
They're gonna win.
You might not win your division.
Yeah.
Remember, the last game of their season is against Minnesota.
Yeah.
You might not win.
I
your
don't think.
division.
I think Minnesota will have.
Minnesota has an
more losses by the end of
easy
the-
path to the
Yeah.
end until Detroit.
Yeah.
We have to play Buffalo next week, so we might not win the division.
True, you got
we might
Buffalo.
not win the number one seed overall. So that had a lot of implications, and we effectively
Getting closer to me as he's talking. He's getting like,
we effectively
getting fired
knocked
up.
Green Bay
tell me more.
almost out of contention. Almost.
Nice.
That's
Hey,
it,
good job.
baby. That's it.
And you know what else? Jaden
Reed.
Reed. Jordan Reed. I still can't say his name right after 13 weeks. Goose egg, eh? Fucking goose egg.
A couple really quick things
So-
about this. Jaden Reed, Goose Egg, which was huge. He was
Yeah.
on the Amon-Ra St. Brown podcast, talking about how he's going to come in and just drop points.
Oh, fuck.
And he got a goose egg. Love total,
Fucking
12 total
brutal.
pass attempts. Phenomenal.
Yeah, it's easy to draw a 0 when your quarterback only throws the ball 12 times
Yeah?
in the entire
Yeah,
game.
well,
31 points, 12 pass attempts.
Jack Campbell was a beast on defense. Brian Branch came out like
You know,
was-
and it
was
felt
beast
like
on
a good
defense.
defensive game, and they both teams had over 30 points. So it
Yeah.
was a fun game to watch. It was kind of crazy.
A lot of
How to check
animosity,
out,
a
but yeah.
lot of fighting. It was a real good rivalry. Tucker Kraft was getting in there, trying to get in fights.
Yeah.
Because he was mad
Yeah.
with Kirby Joseph. See him do that little flip up, that spring. Oh, it was great.
The HBK kick up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I fucking love that shit.
That's not from HBK, but he
Shawn
did
Michaels
it.
created that.
Sure
so,
he did.
yeah.
And then yeah, just fucking great game all around. Let's go, Leos. We
Yay.
got 10 days left before we see Buffalo, and
That's
we're-
gonna be a hell of a game, though.
we
I can't
are-
wait for that one.
we are beating Buffalo. We are beating Buffalo. We are beating Buffalo. Okay, next Top Guns, baby.
Top Guns.
Now we'll get into some famous football predictions. Let's have some fun.
So, this was like the chafing segment from 2 weeks ago, right? So,
Yeah.
we're going to pick a guy. Each one of us are going to pick one guy at each
Yeah.
position. We're not picking somebody in the top 5
Projections.
projection-wise, right? So, we're trying to find somebody outside of that range that could potentially finish as a top gun of the week, right?
Bam.
So, I'll go real quick. My quarterback this week is Tua against the Jets.
Tagovailoa.
I can't even say his last name. I will just say Tua.
Tug.
Yeah. So he's gonna tug a lot of fucking Jets this week. So I think he's gonna have. He's had 3 really good games in a row.
Is
A
the
lot
Jets
of momentum.
defense the most?
Sauce Gardner's
underwhelming?
going to be out this week too. Not even if that matters. I don't even know.
I don't
at
think
this
it matters.
point,
He's been
but,
playing
But
terribly.
the Jets are just deflated at this point. I think
They're-
they're going to go in and they're
Jets
going to
are
roll
grounded.
on the Jets. And yeah, coming off 3 really strong performances, I like Tua's chances of finishing on one of the top spots this
Yeah, for
week.
sure.
Who do you got for quarterback?
Kyler Murray, baby. We got. You're gonna see a trend here, but we got the Arizona Cardinals who are fighting super hard for that division. That division is still a little bit
Yeah,
up in the air.
huge game actually with
Huge game.
Seattle.
Huge game, obviously divisional game, right?
Yep.
Against them Hawks.
Yeah.
The Seahawks have been super inconsistent. You don't know what
They
Geno Smith
win,
you're
they
getting.
lose. They win, they lose. But every time they're winning, it's a pivotal game that puts them at the top of the division, which
Yeah,
is like crazy.
Yeah, so I think it's a big one. I think Kyler shows up a bit. He's gonna have a pretty good game, and I think it's gonna be a bit of a shootout.
Yep. I like it. I don't disagree.
Love it. We got wide receiver.
Wide receiver. So my wide receiver is Jordan Addison.
Jordan Addison. Why do you say that?
He's really good at football.
I think he's very good too.
Jefferson has had a lot of poor weeks in a row.
Is it because Sam Darnold's throwing footballs?
It could be that, or it could be because Jefferson's getting double and triple teamed, and Addison is a super good receiver.
I would, honestly, if I had him, I would probably start him.
Would you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, probably. I mean, I couldn't see anybody that wouldn't start him. Honestly, he's he's my potential top gun of the week. So I mean, I would probably start him, right? So yeah, I mean, he's had like 2 weeks ago, I think he had 25. He's had double-digit scoring in 4 out of the last 5 weeks, so it's like it would be a smart play.
He's a big one.
So yeah, Jordan Addison's my pick. How about you?
He's also a good safety valve, and they've shown safety valve for Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Sammy just likes chucking it to him.
Right.
Marvin Harrison Jr., as I said, you're going to see a bit of a situation here. His chemistry with Kyler has been very good, and now he's not rated to be in the top 5. I think he's going to be in the top 5 without a doubt. I think he's got 2 tutties this week.
Wow, multiple.
He's gonna catch him up here. He's gonna bring him into here.
He's taking multiple balls this week. That's interesting.
Some off the chin.
On your team too, right? So.
He is on my team.
Oh my God, what a coincidence. That's crazy.
That's wild. What do you got running back, baby?
So running back, Kyron Williams has been struggling, and people are starting to talk about Blake Corum taking carries from him. He had 8 carries last week. People are saying like, oh, it's the pendulum's shifting over to Corum. It's not becoming a split. They play Buffalo this week.
We need some decorum.
Decorum.
Thank you.
Because his name's Blake Corum. I got it. Kyron Williams, I think this is the week he gets back on track. He's going to get a touchdown. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, even though I'm playing Buffalo defense. What am I doing?
Yeah.
And so I can see Kyron getting a touchdown, getting back on track, having a good game. So
I can see it because he's so heavily involved in like the running back screen, checkdowns, everything like that too. Give me some Tony Pollard love on Jacksonville. Tony Pollard needs to snap back. He's been pretty solid all year. Yeah, he's been a solid guy. But that Jacksonville team's mailing it in at this point.
Yeah, and everyone's scoring points on them. Like everybody. Fantasy-wise, every position, everywhere. Yeah, scoring on them.
Open up the floodgates. Throw me a Tony Pollard. Let's give some Tennessee players who are trying to right that ship. They're fighting hard. They're not a bad team.
Yep.
They're not a great team, but they're not a bad team. And they're fighting. They're fighting hard right now. They don't want they're not going to be making the playoffs. They're statistically eliminated from what I remember. But they just have.
But there's teams that are bad and they just kind of fade, and then there's teams that are bad but they're really trying to build for next year.
Yes.
And Tennessee, you can kind of see is they're trying.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah.
I agree. Tight end, who you got?
So I got Cade Otton, and
love me some Cade Otton.
You like that Cade, eh?
Good cadence on him.
Yeah, he is. He's very.
Yeah.
That
it's not often I say that either.
Yeah. Any more?
No, we're good.
Okay, so real quick, Cade Otton is a good play this week. Mike Evans is hurt. He's going to end up playing, but I do think within that game they're gonna throw a lot of short passes to Cade Otton. So I think he's going to catch a lot of stuff. Yeah. He's always viable for a touchdown in the red zone. Always. Bucky's hurt too, and long story short, I think Bucky and Mike Evans will play, but I think it's one of those games where they're not going to heavily feature both guys. They'll probably spread the ball around, so Cade Otton might feast off that.
He's been reliable. He's been super reliable, and they're playing against Las Vegas.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's against Vegas, so roll the dice.
Load it up. Give me some David Njoku. We got a tight divisional game. I love watching. This is gonna be a great. This is gonna be an entertaining game to watch.
Killed it last week too.
He did
so good.
He's been having a silently super strong game.
Yep. He was hurt, right? And then when he came back from injury right away, he started scoring.
Yeah, he had Deshaun Watsonitis. For the first few weeks. So, but now Jameis Winston just really likes throwing to this guy, and
Winston likes entertaining the fuck out of everybody. And just making everybody superstars. So
and I didn't realize how entertaining it was.
Yeah, he's so fun.
He's so good.
So, people forget when he was in Tampa a few years back, Chris Godwin was the -- 1 overall wide receiver in fantasy football with Winston as his quarterback.
Winston throws the
ball. So the guy throws the ball, man. For fantasy, he's a guy you want.
Yeah, loving it. Super spies. Let's get into these. So these are people that are long shots who may win your weakest flyers under the radar.
Hold on. Super spies. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I wasn't listening. can listen
They
to I
are
do that.
rostered in less than 50% of the leagues. So
Yes.
that's like the criteria here, friend.
Yep.
These are some potential big game winners rostered in less than half the leagues.
Yep.
Love it.
Desperados, man. So
Who's your QB?
So my QB, like, I mean, I don't think my team would ever be desperate enough to play him, but
I would hope not.
right, but you still kind of know that Will Levis is going to get close to 20 points or above 20 points this week.
Especially when he's playing against Jacksonville.
So yeah, so
I don't hate it.
light him up, Will Levis,
hate it.
and he slings. He's not a great quarterback, but he slings the ball. So yeah.
And at 33% of the league, I'm picking not in the league, 33% of leagues.
Gotcha.
I'm picking Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
We just talked about him. He's still barely rostered. The guy put up a 40
I didn't know
burger
that
last
was-
week.
Yeah.
Now, you're going up against a Pittsburgh stout defense.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a divisional game. You never know what happens with these things. I've seen Pittsburgh go into a freaking shootout 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, Burrow just had a ton of points against them. If Cincy D could play defense, then
so
it would have been a different game. But
it's
I
not
think
that
I think they had 38 points against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so there's game tape against Pittsburgh about how to score.
Yeah.
And it's usually through the air.
Yeah.
So
And Winston don't give a fuck, so he's just gonna keep.
He's going to throw
throwing
eight
no way, so.
interceptions but 2,000 yards.
Yeah.
One game. So he doesn't care, and I'm going to throw him in there because
Are you starting him on your team?
You know what? I am
Oh
starting.
my god!
him
So
on
is
my
that another guy from your team? that you
Wild.
picked? Wow, that's crazy.
team. Gotta give him some
Yeah.
love.
What a
Gotta give him some
coincidence.
love. What about wide receiver?
So wide receiver. So I'm staying in Tennessee again against Jacksonville, and I'm going Nick Westbrook-Akine.
I like it.
Super deep call, super weird call, and pretty much the only reason why I'm making this call is because there's no other way to loop him into this pod and say that this man has 8
I was
touchdowns
about to bring this up.
on the year in 8 games that he's played.
Yeah.
He missed the first 4 games this
How many
season.
receptions has he had?
20. So 8 for 20.
Wild.
Right?
Wild.
Yeah.
And like so many
20
long
catches, 8 and they're all long balls, and like it just looks like the guy had like this magical year and he's only played 8 games.
Like
so it's crazy.
Assume he's running a seam route and stop.
I had it in one of our pod notes. Yeah, Nick Westbrook-McKean. Nobody's ever even knows who this guy is, and he's had a touchdown 4 weeks in a row. And you know what I did? I erased it because I'm like, I'm not even gonna waste time on the pod talking about this guy because he's gonna be irrelevant by next week.
Lo
now,
and behold.
another month later, the guy's still rolling. On that note, I don't know if I could start him. You know what I mean? Like for the purposes of this, yeah, he might have a good game. But like if you've got other options,
He's a boom or bust.
like if you got like a
start
top gun on your bench, like maybe that's like the way to go. You know what I mean? I mean, I can't coach a team and tell teams what to do, but like Nick Westbrook-McKean, yeah, he's pretty good. There's guys like Jordan Addison out there and stuff too.
Christ's sakes, give you hooked on phonics for Christ's sake.
P-Honix. So who do you have for wide receiver?
I got MVS. Give me a
Start Addison.
Marquez, very Akine like player.
Okay.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah.
He has fit right in the old.
He looks like he's flying
in the
on
old
field.
Nolans.
Yeah.
In the old Nolans, he's been fitting right in.
Yeah.
He runs. He's your deep threat. Derek Carr is going to throw 8,000 deep threat bombs. He might get one.
Yeah.
But as long as he gets one, then he gets an 80-yard touchdown.
Yeah, there's your stat.
See you later. What about running backs?
So running backs, I love this call because by the time this pod's out, he's only owned in 39% of leagues. But by the time this pod's out, he's going to be owned in like 80% of leagues.
Yeah, but right now,
Haha.
30%.
So loophole. Braylon Allen is going to get the starting nod with Breece Hall missing this week's game.
This kid's a stud.
So he's a stud.
He's a stud.
You've been fucking.
I've been talking about Braylon Allen. I've been waiting. I've been waiting for
year.
this.
The next Derrick Henry.
I don't
he said,
have him.
so. I do.
I say
Thank
he's
God.
Derrick Henry
So,
light.
Yeah.
Young. Needs a lot of work.
So we'll see how he does.
He's a big fella.
There's a part of me that's almost like relieved that Breece is missing the week because he's so like nagging injuries and all the Rodgers drama. So maybe Braylon Allen comes in, it's fresh. I get 25 points and beat the acronym. But yeah, so we'll see. So Braylon Allen.
I like it.
One.
Well, give me some Tank Bigsby
Fuck. Okay.
because
Who'd you say?
Bigsby
Fuck. Okay. Yeah.
Tank.
Fuck.
Hey,
okay.
thanks a lot. I just think Etienne, he's supposed to be healthy again. He's not playing well.
I love
Jacksonville is
Etienne.
another
I think
place.
Bigsby sucks.
I think they're gonna kind of see what Bigsby's got, what he can do. You know, they're playing for next year at this point. They're kind of mailing it in.
Bigsby shouldn't even play until next year.
And if you need a flyer, I think Bigsby's gonna be the one.
I wouldn't.
Tight end. What do you got?
So I've Scoot Man.
Come together.
Now save me. Sorry. So Schoonmaker. And you know what else,
Best
too?
name
By
of
the
the
way,
league.
a report came out like 20 minutes ago. Ferguson's playing this week. Turd Ferguson.
Get outta here.
Yeah. But you know what? I wanted to sing the song Scoon Man.
No,
and
I
you know
gotta-
what? Fuck Turd Ferguson anyways. So
Scoon
this
Man's
guy
been
looks fucking good.
legit.
I don't know. He looks legit, and it's like
Yeah.
Dallas has scored a lot of points in the last 2 weeks too. So it's like I didn't think I would even talk about another Cowboy on this pod,
Well,
but
has Dak Prescott been playing?
fucking went. No, he has not.
Wow.
So, but
Super crazy.
defense looks better too the last couple of weeks. So yeah.
Well, after you lose everything and have
So-
a 1% chance of making the playoffs, you start playing well.
What do you got for tight end?
I got Mike Gesicki.
Gesicki.
So we got dueling TEs in the same game.
Yeah.
Give me a Gesicki.
It's
You
good.
know, the safety valve for the guy who's throwing 8,000 yards a game and not winning.
Fucking yeah, he's so good.
If they could figure
And
out
he
the
goes
defense,
through so many
wow.
of his progressions, like as opposed to other quarterbacks. Other quarterbacks have good lines and good teams, and then like they throw to their first or their second option.
Yeah.
Burrow's constantly looking at his fourth or fifth guy, and that's
so
why
good.
a guy like Gesicki will always have the potential of having like a big week somewhere
Gesicki's going to be good.
because he could go through 3 progressions and then still find Gesicki.
He's going to
or
get it.
something,
He's
so
going to be good this week.
he's gonna get a Gesicki, eh?
Pretty good time.
Not bad.
Pretty good time.
Not bad.
By the way, Joey Burrow bought a Batmobile.
Did he?
He bought a Batmobile.
Is that a real thing?
100%.
Oh, that's fine.
So
I
they-
want one.
They're making the productions of like the Batmobile that not Christian Slater, but you know the other guy. The fuck is his
Bale?
name? Christian Bale had.
I really, if Christian, okay,
Christian Slater played Robin. Didn't
here's
he?
my final
Didn't
thought.
he play Robin?
Here's my final thought. Are you ready?
Yeah. let's
If
hear it.
Hawk Tua in our league gets first place, that's equivalent to Christian Slater being Batman.
You know what? We gotta leave it there because
That was good.
it's 100% true.
That made me feel better.
Cheers, brother.
Okay.
Let's
cheers.
get week 14 in
Happy
the books,
football. We're back, baby. We're back. Fuck you, Acronym. You're gonna,
Oh my God! The battery did not die.
What? First time ever, eh? What the fuck?